Okay, we're going to go live here in just a few seconds. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Okay, we are trying to get up to speed here as best we can. Okay. And see who's in here first. Hey, Paul. Wow. I hope you had a nice day out there in Wales. Is the weather starting to warm up for you? Yeah, good, good. Yeah, it's about 85 degrees Fahrenheit here today, so it's getting a little on the warmish side, but it's not too bad at night and in the morning. But by about noon, you want to have everything done outside. So yeah, yeah, it does make a nice change. Yeah. So and I'm assuming you can hear me okay. Um, I'm going to wait for some people to get in here and see if anybody else can figure out what this is that I made. I did a couple refinements to it, but what do you think? People still don't quite know what it is. But pretty piece of wood. It's a nice piece of wood. We will be revealing that today. In fact, I'll actually build it on here so people can see what it is. So, hi, somebody else came in the picture. Welcome. Whoever else just came in. I see we got 3 people watching now. And hopefully we'll get a few more over the next couple minutes. I think I'll get this turning. That seems to catch people's attention more when you have this turning. Paul, do you do a lot of turning? Do you do any? Do you do woodworking? What's your preference? Um, Hi, Field. Oh, is that Naomi Mayfield? Naomi Mayfield. There it is. Okay, it's nice. My it's the words are just a little bit too tiny for me. But hi, you do a lot of turning. Good, good. What's your favorite wood over there to turn? Every area has their own special woods that they like to turn. What's a favorite wood or the most obvious convenient wood to turn? I mean, sometimes like there's a lot of woods around here I could turn, but they're not my favorite to turn. So okay, we're getting a few people in here. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening. We'll start turning this in just a minute. A lot of you, yeah, that's a very common wood, and it's very popular wood. It's been a popular wood over there for centuries. Um, I know they used to use it for bow making. I assume it's somewhat pliable, but hardwood at the same time. Okay, well, while we're waiting for more people to get in here, I will start on this. And just to kind of bring you up to speed, this is a green piece of wood. This is very wet. It was only downed about 3-4 weeks ago. And this outside layer right here says 9 or 9.6%, but when I go to the back side, I get 17%. So this is still at 17% water. 17% is about 10 more percent than you want. Yeah, Oliver, that's kind of like what olive wood is. I turn a lot of olive wood, Paul. Well, anyway, while you're watching, please hit the like button or subscribe if you're not subscribed. We are shooting for 5 million views this week. We're getting darn close to it. If we can get enough people in here, we might be able to hit close to or at 5 million views. Let's see how we're doing here. Still got a little bit of a flat spot here, but we're getting there. That's getting better. Throw this stuff off of me. I could cover myself here. Go up a little bit more in speed, okay? We're going to be taking all this bark off anyway. So, there. Well, there's some curls for you. What do you think of that, huh? Maybe we can get you in here a little closer, but that's some good curls. Okay. Those aren't really wet curls because that's the outer side, so we just need to kind of straighten that out a little bit, and I think we'll have our roundness. There we go. If you watch right up here, you can see, and boy, is that smooth. That is really smooth. But this is what I got to worry about. This is my concern right here, this crack. And I don't want it to crack anymore. It's already cracking in here. And I don't know if I can save it. So that's why I wanted to do this turning, because I wanted to turn this green so that I could maybe save this from becoming a large crack. But we're gonna have to find out. I might have some problem here getting that preserved. So we'll see. See if we can go on the inside here. I'm gonna go on the back side and Okay. Kind of get a look at things. Move in a little closer here. Okay. I think we're gonna use that as our starting point for creating the tenon. See what we can do here. I'm gonna have to raise this up. Okay, there we go. And that's one of my concerns right there. If I make a tenon, I'm going to have that crack right there. So, yeah, that's not going to hold it because it's bark. I'm just going to have to take that off. It's just not going to work that way. So let's take this down. Okay, let's see where we are at. Yeah, I don't have that crack if I go there. That's flat. Okay, let's try setting this up again. Let's go right about here. That I'm hitting. Okay, just a little bit of that. I'll be easier with this. Okay. Now I can come in here. Create a foot. There we go. Yeah, it's nice and smooth, I gotta say. All right. Greenwood is kind of nice to work with that way. You can get a pretty good feel for the wood and make nice crisp cuts.
Now we'll set where we want to have our tenon. Right about here. Okay. Now we'll clear that out just a little bit. I think I'll need to make it just a little bit wider, but let me double check myself. Yeah, it's just barely fitting in there right now, so we'll make it just a touch wider. It's really, really close. Okay. And because we've got this foot on here, I'm going to be able to make this a little bit deeper, and you'll see why. Because I'm making this into a green turning, and this is going to warp a little bit over time. As it's drying out, it's going to warp, and I'm going to want to be able to put this back on the lathe and make a new crude out tenon at some point. So I want to be able to have this go deeper so I can trim it down and get it retuned to a round, if that makes sense. 2 ounces in here. Hey, Mike. Mike Jennifer. Good to see you, Mike. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. That would really help the channel. This is just the first of many little projects we're going to do today. So stick around. In fact, I'm going to ask you a question in just a minute here. There is perfect. That's going to be just fine, I think. Okay. So I've been teasing you for a couple weeks now. What is this? And I'm wondering if anybody has figured it out yet. And we're going to put this together later, and you'll see what this is. Okay? But right now, it's just a piece of oak. And we'll see if anybody figures it out. Okay? So let me know in the comment section if you think you know what it is. And, just a little bit, we'll get out the tools and we'll make one, and we'll finish it off and show you what it was. See if you're right. Okay, so I got, I want to do the outside. I want to smooth out the outside just a little bit. I use my other skew for this. I think I'm going to raise that up just a little bit. Okay. We're not going for design right now. We're just going to round. It's probably going to be real off when I start sanding. Why? Now we're just looking for straight side. There's something right there that's going to tick. Oh, it's probably this. Probably this. Okay. So I'm going to treat this right now while I've got a chance. And I know some of you have seen me do this before, but it's worth repeating. I'm going to put some wood glue down here. I use for cleaning it out, getting full of stuff too. Yeah. Well, if it doesn't, I will force it out. There we go. That's what was keeping it out. Always a little bit of that glue. It's rubbery, and it's always a little bit of that glue that gets in there. So, okay, there we go. There we go. We're going to push it right down into the hole. Down in there. So, and on the other side. Do it also. I don't want these cracks getting bigger and going on the inside of the wood where we're going to be making a bowl at some point. So, what we're going to do is we're going to force some wood shavings down in there. And I'm just going to pat those on and work them in as best I can. Go on the other side here, do the same thing. The finer the better, because they'll go down into that crack and fill it in a little bit. Okay. And then if you go across it like so. Now this is two-toned wood shaving, so it's not going to, it's not going to blend like it normally would. That's okay because we're going to go back and remove this eventually anyway. We just want to stop the cracking as best we can. And just leave that on there like so. And that will be our hold on that. Okay. So that will dry over the next couple of days, and I'm not too concerned with it right now. I'm concerned with it later. Okay. So we've got this relatively shape here. And the next step is going to be to take this off. And we want to remove some of the wood from the inside so this will dry faster and hopefully dry a little bit straighter. So let me take this off. What else we got in here? Hey Johnny, how you doing? There we go. And if we make any mistakes, that's not a problem because we can always go back and fix it right now because it's just the Greenwood line at the moment. There's no harm, no foul. That's what we're doing with it. Okay. Turn this. Oh yeah, it's spinning really nice in front. That's really good. Okay. No wobble in that at all. Fingers crossed. So And make sure I put my tools back over there. Oops. Let me get a little better light on that for you. Okay. Let's see what we can do. See what kind of damage we can do here. Now, I'm not going to go in as deep as I would if I was actually turning a bowl. I want to leave a good portion of the wood. I believe most people use like what they call the 10% rule. So if this is, let's see, this is about a 8-inch, well, let me do it this way, probably easier. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6.5-inch bowl, roughly. So I think if we do right about here, we're leaving about a little over half an inch or so. We should be just fine. I need to lower this just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, now I can pick up the speed a little. Yeah. I like to stop and look and see if I'm coming across anything that I don't expect. And so far, there's no limbs or anything in this piece. It's nice and clean. That's always good. I think I need to move this just a hair down more. And in just a little bit now. Okay. I think I might switch over to my other carbide, or my other. Okay. We're on nice and solid. Okay. We're running at about 1,000 RPM right now. Look at those ribbons. Probably a little bit deeper than I should have gone in one bite. Take another layer off. Well, that's going to look nice in the garden today. When I get done here, all that's going out to the garden for composting. Around all of our bush, keeps the weeds down, so it is redone. You were at the woodshed, huh? Hi, Alex. Well, I hope you didn't spend too much money. We have a wood supplier here in town called the Woodshed, which I think is a great name. The original owner used to do a lot of specialized wood for people. Unfortunately, he passed away. And his son still keeps the shop going, but his son is more into cabinetry work and specialized work like that. So he has a lot of CNC machines going, and he has a lot of, I mean, he's got huge. Last time I was up there, he had like 3 or 4 dust collectors against one wall, going all the time, and doing a lot of specialized cabinet work and so forth. But you can still go in there and buy large sheets of very expensive, very fancy woods, like blood orange or purple heart or whatever. I think he gets most. He goes down to LA to the wood market to get them. And we have another place in town called Soroyan's, which is like a lumber yard of exotic woods. It's really a great place, but it ain't cheap. I'm telling you. I mean, they're really good. I mean, I understand the prices because of what they have to go through to get in here and all, but still, getting your exotic woods from a wood dealer is a really expensive way to go. Much better to kind of cultivate what's around you and use the woods that are around you. Save a lot more money that way. I mean, I've got about 100, 150 blanks ready to clear of all sorts of wood. I've got walnut and redwood and fruit, cottonwood, olive, I think, holly. I got several pieces of this elm here. Someone's always cutting a tree down in the yard. And if you live in an area where there's homes that have been around here for 100, 150 years, you're going to find some old trees dying off that probably weren't originally meant for this area. A lot of the trees in this area from that time were brought here for food purposes, actually. I mean, they brought them here because they thought that they could, they knew them from the old country, and they knew what to get out of them, and that's why they brought them. So, like, we have a lot of cork oak. And the reason you have cork oak is because you have a lot of people that were from Spain and Portugal where they used cork to secure their wine bottles and other bottles with liquids in them. So cork was very valuable. So they brought cork oak over here. Well, there's not as much need for cork oak around here nowadays, and those trees are getting to be 100 years old or more. But they make great wood for turning. And you've seen me turn several of my cork oak wood bowls on this channel. So look locally, see what you got available. Paul was saying he's got a lot of view around him. That's very common over in the Scotland and Ireland and Wales and that whole area. Well, finding old walnut is always good too. Oh, by the way, to Alex. Oh, yeah, you like twice turning, Mike? Yeah, I do. I do sometimes. To Alex, I just saw on one of my emails that there is a bunch of still chainsaws for sale for $75 each. That Justin has, the guy that's going to have our next meeting. And 75 bucks, that's a good deal for a 16-inch steel chainsaw. So if you're still interested, because I know you said yours went out, yours kind of went out on you, that might be a good deal to get in on, give them a call. Okay. Well, this is really nice wood. Not a whole lot of imperfections in it or anything. It's going down pretty nicely. Again, it's Greenwood, so. So, Johnny, what do you think? Is this about the right thickness? Or Mike, I'm sorry, Mike, you think this is about the right thickness for my bowl for now? I'm going to go back to this one, I think. I think this one is a little bit better. It's a little sharper. See the difference in sharpness? I'm going to get a little of this out of here again. Whew. I'm filling up this can over here as fast as I can with this stuff. Those are nice shavings. I love turning green or wet wood. You get those beautiful shavings. It really looks nice. Let me finish off this. Get some of this out of here. Okay. We're going to go down about another half inch or so. And the good news is I don't see that crack. That's what I wanted to look for. I was looking to see if that crack from here is in here, and it's not here yet. So we want to make sure we can avoid that getting that crack in there. So I'm not looking for perfection on this turn right now. I'm just kind of cleaning it up a little bit. There we go. I pull a little bit more out of here. Hello to the new people in here, and please hit that like button. Please subscribe. It really helps the channel. We're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. We are over 4,800 now. We're trying to get to that 5.0 mark. So really would help you if everybody would get in there and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. Clean this off a little bit. Now this wood really turns smooth. I mean, it's almost like sanded 400 grit sandpaper already, just using the gouge. And one reason I want to get this as smooth right here as I can is so that later I can eyeball just how much it's turned, how much it is bending as it dries out, or warping. Okay, we are about here. I want to go down to about there, so probably one or two more turnings ought to do it. Just about do it. Okay, let's try it again. Let's see where I'm at. Here. Maybe one more turn through. Maybe one more turn through. Whoa, didn't want to do that. We got just a little bit aggressive there. Okay. Yeah, I got just a little bit grabby down in there. I was extended out too much too. I probably need to bring in my other rest. It's a curve in it. I can get in there a little bit better with the curved rest. But get this part done. What angel do I have on my bow gown? No angels. But I do like this one. This was from BM Woods, and it's got put a really nice angle on this one. I really enjoy using. It's a little bit different than this one. This one's cut to be a little bit more aggressive, and this one is not, and it makes a difference. This one's made a little bit more for getting down in the bowl. In fact, what I need to do is put a secondary grind here, so it's a little bit easier to curve. I've kind of worn that down to where I need to put a new secondary grade. If you don't know what I mean by a secondary, is that you have your main angle, but then you put a second angle that's a little bit less shear on the bottom here, on the base, and that allows it to turn easily as you're going through the wood. Like you're coming in here and you're turning in, that secondary bevel makes it a little bit easier to curve and go in. So anyway, I need to probably do that. So this is my green turned bowl so far. And we're going to make sure we don't let that crack get going. I will probably do things to this. So let me get this off of here. I'm going to do two or three things to this. I'm going to microwave this to get some of the moisture out of it. Let me get this off. So one of the ways that you can dry your wood is you can use a microwave. And so what I plan on doing is probably it's putting this in the microwave and letting some of this moisture out quickly. And then I will probably go to a preservative. I need to fix that hole right there. I will go to a putting in a bag with some of these shavings. I don't want that getting bigger. Put it right on there too. Just trying to fortify the wood a little bit. So we'll do that. That'll take some of the moisture out of it. That'll get a little bit easier to turn. And then we should be able to, hopefully, if I can keep this from cracking, right here is where you got the problem. Because you see this branch right here? That could crack right there. If we can bring that a little closer. This right here, this little piece. That right there. The other one, this is where part of the core was of the wood. Cracking just a little bit right there, and that's what's causing these cracks on the outside. These radial cracks are coming from the core of the wood, which was right about here, actually, on this piece. So, yeah, I think we'll be able to get this turned in a few weeks when we get this dried out a little bit more. So this is the first step in that process. Okay, so just you'll be coming back to see that one here in a few weeks. We'll readdress that and finish that bowl off once it has gone through the proper process. Meanwhile, I'm going to stuff this with some of the shavings, and I'm going to put it in a bag with the other shavings, and it will remain there until I'm going to do some processing. And that will also slow down the process of it drying out. And with the bag closed and those shavings in there, it will slow down that whole process. Okay? So that was that piece. Let me get this cleaned off just a little bit. Just so we have some revision room here. We'll move on to our next project. I said we're doing a little bit of everything today. Originally, I was going to make this a no-bull Friday. Because everybody's pretty happy about it. I thought, well, no, it'll be processed a little. So that's what I did. Now we can go into some other turning points. We'll probably start with the one that I've been teasing you with for weeks. Here. Let me get this cleaned up. Okay. Use my work here a little cleaner. There. Well, the floor is covered with stuff right now. All right, so I've been telling you about this, and you've been wondering what the heck is that? Well, I'm going to be very delicate as I do this because me with my big fat fingers and everything else, I could really screw this up quickly. This is the makings of a kaleidoscope. Did anybody guess kaleidoscope? Probably not. Okay. In kaleidoscope, you have to have a hole. And yes, this is not the size of this brass piece. The brass piece is not getting glued in. Okay. Um, okay. So what we have here is we have some mirrors, 3 mirrors. And the way you want to do these mirrors, you want to get them into a triangle. And so what you have to do is you put tape on the back so that you can fold these over. If I can do it without screwing it up. You want to make a triangle of it, like so. Another triangle. See the triangle here. And you paint each end with black felt tip marker. Okay? And that goes inside here. Now, it's not an easy fit. Probably because of the tape. I may need to take some of this tape off. We'll see. Yeah, I may need to take some of that tape off. Okay, so let me take a little razor blade. And I can razor blade that off. Okay. See if I can get it in that way. Gotta be very careful because it says glass. There we go. I'll just take the other tape, just comes right off as you do that, see? And it is in there nice and tight. on both ends. Okay. So now we got that in there. Tape is just to hold it together so we can get it in there. Okay. Now, this comes with two ends. One end is the eyepiece, and in the eyepiece there's a piece of glass, and in the glass there's a little metal ring. I don't know if you can see the little metal ring in there. Maybe if I do this, you can, I don't know. Anyway, that little metal ring, you have to use an eraser and a little blunt object to get that ring to snap in place, and that's the retainer ring for holding the eyepiece in. And that goes in one end, like so. And the eyepiece is going to go in the small end here. And this end, you have little glass pieces in different sizes, and you have a retainer for that as well. And that goes in on the other side, and it screws into place on the other end. Once they are in place, this holds it together. Let me just loosen this part up a little bit so it can do a little bit more on the other side. Ooh. And and if you don't have it connected, the whole thing falls out. So that's not good. So that was just a little stupid on my part. I'm going to have to still got the glass in there. That's good. We can still put that in there. We can still put the pieces of glass back in it. Fine. This is why you do it on a flat spot here, so you have some help like that. You know what? I think this time what we'll do is we'll put this on this end first. We'll hold it down a little better. Make sure that tight part is in. Oh, popped out. Yeah, put the glass on top, Jeff. There we go. So it helps if you're looking at the instructions, which I'm not right now. I just found another piece. Now we're cooking. Okay. Now we're tightening up. Okay. You got it. All right. So there's our kaleidoscope. Now, if you've never looked through a kaleidoscope, and I'm not sure if we can, we'll try this. We'll see if we can do this. You can see in there. Oops. There you go. And as you spin it around, it changes. Well, obviously I can't do this really well in the camera, but yeah, it moves around and changes. And so it's a constant changing pattern. This was considered high entertainment back in the day. But so this is a kaleidoscope, and they sell really well. About 25 bucks or so, depending on where you're at. $25, $30, not unusual. If you get a little more exotic wood, you might be able to get 40 or 50. But point is, you can really knock these out pretty quickly. They don't take a whole lot of work. When you saw me kind of struggle through that a little bit, but that's because of my big fat fingers and trying to do this live on camera. But pretty easy to turn. You can get these kits from a lot of different companies, Penn State and others. But yeah, I think Kaleidoscope is a really neat thing, and nobody guessed it. I'm kind of surprised at that. So, so. Next thing we are going to do. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to do another one of those bookmarks I did the other day. If you didn't see me do the bookmark, this is really, really cool stuff. Okay. And this is from a company called Wood Turnings. Now, I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but Wood Turnings with a Z. Okay, you see the Z, the Wood Turnings Z Inc. And you can look them up on the internet, or you can go to my description page on here after the video. And if you look on the description page, you will see a connection to a link to the site. And they are going to be having a Memorial Day sale next week, I think it is. So if you want to look over the catalog and then wait and then get stuff during their sale, that's great. Again, I'm not sponsored by them. I bought these all by myself. So no sponsors or anything. Oh, sorry, Johnny. Thanks for sticking around and thanks for being in here. Please, again, hit that like button or subscribe. We've had about 32 likes so far. Like to get a lot more, so to speak. Anyway, and so what you do is if you have a chuck like this, real chuck, and you have a little mandrel like this right here. And this little mandrel you take and you grab any little piece of leftover wood. Doesn't have to be big. It could be something like this that you cut off an end of something. Anyway, a small piece, and use double stick tape. Now, the double stick tape I use is made for woodworkers. It's called X-Fasten, and again, there's a link on my page on the description page for this. Again, they are not a sponsor of mine. I don't get anything special from this. I'm just kind of showing you guys. If you're looking for good double stick tape that things won't come flying off, this is really good stuff. It is made for woodworkers, for wood turners especially. So, again, X-Fasten. And if you really want some good double stick tape, and it doesn't cost you very much. It really is not much. I think it's like $13 for 3 rolls or something like that. And I've had the 3 rolls for quite a long time. In my shop, you don't need a whole lot at any one time. So I'm going to put this in here. Yes, this is a very small little thing right here. Okay, but you'll see what it does. It makes something that you can make $15, $20 on each one of these little turnings. Okay, so this little piece of wood could make you $20. That's a pretty good claim, I think. Anything that can make me $20, I'm all for. Okay, so I'm going to spin this up. I think I'll raise it just a little bit. Okay. I want to kind of round off the corners before you get started. I just took it over to a sander. Whoops. Whoa. That wasn't good. I took it over to my sander and see if it will stay on there. Come on. Here I just advertise that they're good. They really are good. And I got to be careful not to make sure it comes off on myself here. So, you know what? I'm going to employ a little something I probably should have done in the first place. I'm going to bring my tailstock up, and I'm going to put a little. Let's see if I can put a little pad on here. That's not gonna work. I will. I'll take this off. And I'll switch to a different tail. Okay. It's just going to hold that in place. It's not going to really do anything. Okay. A little bit high. I think we want to look real good. I'll switch. Around this way wide. Okay, I can take those off. We'll go to the skew. Little tiny skew. This is Purple Heart, and it is a lot tougher to turn than some other wood. Sharpen this up just a bit. I'm going to get you in there real close so you can see what's going on here. Okay. There you go. Okay. I'm going to take this away. Okay. I'll take this tailstock off of here.
carefully do this, not getting caught. I'll kind of dome this up a little bit. Let's see, right up against that. We just go a little bit closer on this little edge right here. Taking very fine amounts off of this, almost like sanding. You want it to be just the right size. You don't want it to be hanging over the mantle. Go down just a little bit. There we go. Sorry, I'm being a little quiet here. I'm just trying to really pay attention to what I'm doing. Okay, I think we can go from sanding from there. We're getting down to where we're just kind of sanding it almost with a scraper. So let's go to the sander. See here. Okay. I'm going to reverse this for the next one. This will be 250, right? Or 240, what I should say. Hello. I want to say hi to the 30 people that are on here. Say hi, 30 people.
Hi, 30 people.
There we go. Now we will go to this. Clean this up a little bit. Purple heart. That is a piece of your purple heart. Okay. And we'll go to the 400 grit. This is the last grit. We'll pick up the speed a little bit more. Hopefully it doesn't start a fire. Like having 20 Boy Scouts all pushing around the, trying to get the fire started at the same time. All right. Okay. It's nice and smooth. Now we'll put a little Mylons on it, I think. You can put whatever you want on it. You can just put a wax on it. You can put a tongue oil, or this is a friction polish, so should start to glow right away almost. Put that on there. And then heat up. And I'll go to a dry spot. Oh yeah, that looks a lot nicer. Okay, we'll put a little bit more on there. Have a second coat. Go do that in reverse.
You're supposed to be sending this in every night,
Oh, good.
but I never got the email. So,
We'll find out. As long as I get our address. Okay.
we gotta pay for it.
Maybe it'll come later. You were dealing directly with the company, right?
Yeah.
It's been one of those weeks. Computer crapped out. I had to get a computer for my wife. I had to get a new remote for our sound bar. I lost my watch, so I had to get a new watch. It's been a bad week. Things like that. So there's our purple heart. Okay. Really nice and shiny. And what we do is we attach it to this. Okay. That's all it is. We just attach it to this. I'm sorry. Let me pull it over. Attach it to this. So let me go get a little bit of glue. We'll pull out just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Hopefully there's some glue in this. I'm not sure there is. Yeah, that one's probably done. Okay. You only need a dot of that. You don't really need a lot. Sometimes you put too much super sealing glue on something, it actually keeps it from making a good hard connection. Drop that right in there. Just let that set. Let that glue up. And there we have one bookmark. You can get these. I get these from that same company, that Wood Turnings Inc. And they sell these there. They also have parts for pens. If you have if you're missing a part from a pen, and you're you don't want to throw away the pen kit because you're missing one little part, you can get the parts from them also. They have a good catalog for that. So just a little shout out to them. They were real nice to me. Like I said, I paid for these myself. They didn't pay for any of this, or they're not paying for my ad or anything like that for you. But I just thought I would give them a little shout out because I thought this was pretty cool. So if you are interested in making some of those, very simple to do, and you've got a lot. I'm sure you all have. We all have a lot of pieces of wood. I mean, I've got slices like this. Now, you need about a 1/4-inch slice of wood. Here's Purple Heart, and here's some, I think it's Kingwood, or Paduke I've got in here. I've got some walnut. I got some, I'm not sure exactly what that is, to be honest with you. I got wood, I don't even know what it is sometimes. But several different types of wood in here, and you can use them all. I could make dozens of bookmarks with just this wood right here. I can make dozens and dozens of them. My wife has this marked as jewelry wood, because that piece of wood is a nice piece of wood that you can make jewelry out of. So, yeah, it's a pretty cool thing, and it doesn't cost much to put together. This out of here. There we go. All right. Well, what's next on the agenda? Well, I'm still going to finish doing all those plates that I was doing the other day. And if you've never turned a 1-inch piece of wood into a plate, this is a good time to watch it because it's a lot of fun to do. It's not hard to do, but it does take a little bit of practice. I will warn you right now, you will screw up a couple pieces of wood in the process. And that's okay, because that's how we learn, right? We don't do it all in one fell swoop, and we learn as we go. So let me clean my area up a little bit. There we go. Okay, so has anybody out there ever done this? Let's see, Jean-Claude. Good morning or good afternoon, Jean-Claude. That Herbert? I'm sorry. Hebert Estrado. Is that what that is? And then James Taylor. James Taylor. Great name. Wonderful singer, James Taylor. With an interesting life. Okay. Well, again, if you are new here, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. It does help the channel. We're trying to get our numbers up just a little bit more. So anybody that wants to help with that, that's great. Okay, let's oh, let's turn it in just a little bit. Okay. Not see any flat spots. Maybe just a little bit. I think if we go one more time through that, it'll be nice and flat. Okay, we are going to set a very, very shallow tenon here. And that's about as deep as we're going to go. Wrong order. Here we go. Okay, got that smoothed out. Okay. Make sure I get this right size. Just a little bigger. Tighter, I should say. Right there. Right there. I just need to get another millimeter in. Yep, that's it. Okay. Yeah, I just need to clean that up. Okay. We'll sand that down just a little bit. And we're ready to turn it around and go for it. It doesn't take long to do these. In fact, it's pretty simple to do. But you have to be very careful. You have to use really sharp tools. And don't be in a rush. Do not be in a rush. A little end grain right here. We want to make sure we get that nice and clean. Okay. Go down to the next one. This will sand off really, really quick. Put it on really good. One last one here. Okay. There we go. We got it sanded down enough.
Put a little feed wax on this. We like to use this Howard's feed wax when we can. It's going to be probably some chips and stuff like that are going to end up on this clean. We want to make sure we get food safe. Wax. So we use this one. And because it's dry wood, it soaks it right up just as fast as we can put it in there. Just sucks it right up. I'm going to have to go put some somewhere soon.
If you need more of this, you can just get it at most hardware stores, or you can go if you look in the description box. I know I've been saying description box a lot today, but I do try and put everything in my description box here so that you can find it if you need it. If you're having trouble getting it somewhere, hopefully that would help you get some if you want it. But it's this is really pretty wood. It's really really nice. This is just an old butcher block, or piece actually just a piece of pine. Really, is what it was. That somebody was using as a barbecue butcher block for many years. I mean, many years. This probably was 20, 30 years old when I got it, and I just cut it into round pieces and turned them into what you see in front of you now. So this off, faceplate, like so. Oops. And let's see, what else we got in here? Mr. Fernandez Silva. Hello. I'm interested. What part of the world are we talking to people now? I know earlier we had Wales in here, but what other parts of where's everybody listening or watching from? I'd be very curious. It's kind of nice to know how far our reach is and how far our community goes. So if you don't mind writing in the comments section, what country are you, or what town or city or whatever are you from, so everybody else can kind of find out too. We are a community, and it's fun to share that kind of stuff. You can. Okay, let's try nice and true. That should hold. He says here with his fingers crossed, that should hold. Okay. We can use a couple things. We could use a carbide if you want to use a carbide on this. Here, hide here. Here. Get the wood stuff. That's one way of doing it. Or we can use the gouge way. Down here. I'm not sure what's causing that rough spot right there, but I'm going to take a look. A little bit of tear out and rough spot right in there. We are about halfway through that. Go back to the carbide for a second, just to see if we can clean that out a little bit. Okay, so where are we at here? Yeah. Always want to get a feel for it. So I like using a scraper. I keep saying hi to people, but nobody's writing in where they're from. I know if you're watching here, please tell us where you're watching from. Makes it a little more interesting. I can hear it. You can hear it starting to get thin. I think we're pretty thin there. We're not going to go too much further to the bottom. Time to just kind of scrape off the bottom and clean it up a little bit. Get out the big gun here. Sorry. A little smaller one here. See how you feel here. Yeah, okay. The hard part is trying to make this even all the way across. And you don't have a lot to work with. You don't have a lot to work with. You got to be really careful how thin you make these things. We can go just a little bit deeper there. Yeah, I think we got to be careful with the eye. Okay, I think that will do that one. The nice thing is, if I find afterwards that it's not what I wanted, I can always go back and adjust it some more. So that's kind of the nice thing about this. Okay, let's get the sanding out. We'll sand this and then we will do it up. Okay. Smooth out those little cutouts, those little tear outs. Reverse. Yeah. That out a little bit. All right. Let's see what we can do here. More of that Howard's on the this Howard's feed and wax on the inside. You can see it doesn't change the color of the wood. It just kind of nourishes it, brings it to life a little bit. It's already sucked up all that stuff I put on the outside earlier. This is very, very, very old and dry wood. I don't think it was ever treated after it was cut and used as a barbecue place to slice pieces of wood or something. I don't think it was ever treated or anything like that. So it's been starving for about 20 or 30 years. Waiting for someone to come along and give it some food, nourishment, bring it back to life a bit. This is going to have noise. So this is a tree, and then it was a board, and then it was a cutting board for somebody's barbecue for years. And now it's going to be a set of plates for another 20 or 30, 40 years for somebody else. So this is like giving a tree of life an extra 100 or 200 years of life after it was a tree. I think that's kind of a cool thing. That's one of the reasons I like to do turnings, is because you are giving life back or extending the life of something that, oh yeah, that's very thin. You can almost see through that. I don't know if you can see the light, but you can almost see through that. Could not have gone much deeper on that. And that matches up with my other ones I've already made earlier. So we now have 3 bowls. And these are all going to need more, a little more waxing, I think, because they're all kind of drying out again. This one actually looks like it just has the appearance of being of warping, but it's really not. It's just round. But these are all nicely the same. And we still got a couple more to go. Get those done. And we'll have, still have 3 more to go. We'll have 6. So that's how you do that. Hey, Jim, you made it in. Make an old man smile. Yeah. Rob says 77647. I'm not sure what that means, unless that's your area code. If that's your area code, that's fine. What is 77647? I have no clue. Anybody? So, for those of you that haven't been in here for a little while because we got other things going on, I know a lot of you are just getting home from work and all. We made. Show you what we made. We made a kaleidoscope. That's what this was, Jim. I've been asking people what they thought it would be, and it is a kaleidoscope. And I don't know if you can see in there. A little bit, but that's the kaleidoscope. And we made this bookmark out of Purple Heart. That's a Purple Heart one. And then we made this. We turned a bowl. Not all the way. We turned a wet bowl, a green bowl. We did a green bowl turning, and I still have to go back and do the work with this and get some of the moisture out of it. Once we got it dried down to a good state, we'll bring it back and we'll turn the rest of it. But we did turn the inside and the outside of the bowl, and right now I've got this sitting in here to kind of slow down the drying process just a little bit so it doesn't crack anymore. And once we have it controlled and we have it stabilized, we will finish the turning and put a finish on it and everything. So we have that going today. But yeah, we had a lot of things going on. And then we just finished the plate. So we had a lot of different turnings going on in less than 2 hours. That's pretty good, I'd say. Oh, hey, Mike, you're in here now too. People must be getting home from work. I guess, well, yeah, it's closer to 4 or 5 o'clock. When these go. So did anybody guess Kaleidoscope? I got to know. I mean, so far I've never seen heard anybody say they guessed I was making a Kaleidoscope. And Mike, have you ever made one, or Jim? You ever made a Kaleidoscope? You'll have to probably go back and watch the part of the video where I did that. It's kind of fun. It is kind of fun. And, I've been on here for a couple hours, and I think I'm probably going to... Negative, huh? Never tried. You got to try it sometime. They aren't hard to make. You just make that egg shape, and once you make the egg shape, you've got to put it, just assemble it, sort of like putting together a pepper mill or anything else. It does take a very odd drill size, so that would be one piece to it. But other than that, once you get it drilled out, it's pretty easy to do. So I would highly recommend it. I see we got 41 likes in here. That's about what we ended up with the other day too. We're obviously not going to reach our 5 million viewers as of today. We're still going to be short of that, but we are getting close, and maybe before the end of the month we'll get there. I don't know. Some Fridays I have 100,000 people. Other times I have 10,000 people. It's really crazy on Fridays. Never seem to know. In fourth grade, you made one from. Yeah. Well, it is really cool. It's a lot of fun project. Like I said, it doesn't take a lot to do it. You can go back and look at the video and see, but it's basically a brass tube in here that you screw. The hard part is getting this whole assembly together and getting the mirrors lined up, because you have to put 3 mirrors in here in a triangular shape in order to get the effect. So you have these 3 mirrors that you have to tape on the back side, fold them over into a triangle, fit into the brass there, and then screw in both ends. And plus putting together these pieces with the eyepieces. A little bit. There's a few steps to it, but once you've done it a couple times, you kind of get the hang of it. And I kind of like this one. It feels good in the hand. This is very hefty. This is probably in at about, I don't know, 5-6 ounces at least, maybe 5 ounces. And this is a oak finish on this one. So, yeah, I look through there and I can go, oh yeah, it keeps changing. Kind of cool. There's some nice colored different beads in there. I don't know if I can get that up against the. It's hard to hold it just in the right spot. There you go. There you are. Yeah, kind of cool. Anyway, so yeah, if you want to do these, I think it's worth trying it once or twice just to see if you can do one. And again, these sell for pretty good price. You get them in people's hands and they start looking at them. You go, especially if you get them in kids' hands. When kids see them, they actually really think they're cool. And you can with a little bit of salesmanship, you can sell things pretty quickly. So that's what I would suggest. Make sure when you're out there, you don't just let them sit there, but every time a kid comes by and the parents are there, have them hold it up to their eye. Parents will remember when they were kids, maybe making one, and the younger kids will just kind of look at it and go, "That's kind of cool looking in there," because kids like to do things that you know, kind of are visual, and this is very visual. You can look at this for hours and take things. So, highly recommend trying to make one if you can. Well, guys, I'm going to get out of here because I think other people want to probably do their lives tonight or putting videos. I've probably taken up too much of your time as it is, and I got a lot to clean up. Okay, well, guys, I will see you soon. And oops. Oh, oh. Yeah, let's get back on that. Okay, sorry about that. Boy, you move things around and it gets all pinky on you. Anyway, guys, I will talk to you soon. And thanks for coming in, and we'll see you next week. So talk to you all later. Thanks. Bye-bye.